Right now, while you are watching this, there are men walking into boardrooms wearing $15,000 suits, commanding respect before they even open their mouths. These same men started exactly where you are right now. But here is what they discovered that most men never will. Style is not about fashion, it is about power, and society does not want you to have it. When Steve Jobs walked onto that stage in his black turtleneck, the fashion world called him a minimalist genius. When Mark Zuckerberg wears his grey hoodie, tech blogs praise his focus on productivity over vanity. But when you show up to a business meeting in anything less than perfectly pressed perfection, you are judged harshly. Stop now and look at what you are wearing. This is not style. This is submission disguised as comfort. Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you try, you are never taken seriously? Maybe you are sabotaging yourself without realizing it with the wrong clothes, with the wrong choices. This is the first cruel truth. The wealthy have rewritten the rules to work in their favor while keeping you trapped in middle-class mediocrity. The brutal reality is that while billionaires can afford to dress down because their bank accounts do the talking, you cannot. Your clothes are your first impression, your silent spokesperson, your ticket to being taken seriously. But instead of teaching you this, society feeds you the lie that caring about appearance is shallow. Truth number one: society has programmed you to reject elegance. The post-pandemic workplace has created a significant shift in men's fashion, particularly in the smart casual category. Many men feel confident in full business attire or completely casual clothes, but struggle with the middle ground. This is not an accident. The fashion industry makes billions by keeping you confused, constantly chasing trends instead of building timeless style. George Clooney can enter mute into a gala event, but his tuxedo speaks first. His presence commands attention not because of his words, but because his appearance whispers authority before his voice ever breaks the silence. The menswear collections for next spring and summer highlight a carefree yet refined aesthetic with comfortable textures, straightforward cuts, and a smart, flexible wardrobe made up of a few key basics: suits, durable trousers, V-neck polo shirts, light knitwear. But notice what they emphasize: comfortable, casual, easy. They want you comfortable in mediocrity. Do you prefer comfort or respect? Fast fashion needs you to buy constantly. Classic elegance needs you to buy once and own forever. Guess which one they promote? Every time you choose the $5 t-shirt over the $50 shirt, you are choosing to remain invisible. Every time you buy the cheapest option, you are reinforcing your own middle-class prison. I knew a man who spent 20 years at the same company being ignored in meetings, passed over for promotions, treated like furniture. His ideas were dismissed before he finished speaking. Then something changed. He traded his wrinkled khakis and polo shirts for tailored trousers and custom shirts. Within 6 months, he was leading the meetings he used to sit silently through. Same intelligence, same experience, different presentation, different life. But here is what they do not tell you. The man in the $15,000 suit is not spending $15,000 every month. He bought quality once. He looks powerful every single day. This is the mathematics of elegance that they hide from you. Truth number two: you have been conditioned to fear standing out. While you discuss installment plans for a blazer in 10 payments, elite men are buying bespoke in Milan. They understand that true power cannot be financed in installments. True power demands investment, commitment, sacrifice of temporary pleasures for permanent positioning. Experimental research has demonstrated that exposure to social and cultural norms for appearance leads to greater dissatisfaction with the body in general for both men and women. Think about every movie you have ever seen. The villain wears the expensive suit. The hero wears jeans and a t-shirt. Hollywood has spent decades programming you to associate elegance with arrogance. Are you dressing to be accepted by your equals or admired by your superiors? College men avoid certain types of clothing due to fear of standing out. preferring comfort and adherence to social norms over personal power. You have been taught to fear judgment so intensely that you choose invisibility over impact. When you walk into a room wearing a properly tailored suit, people notice. This terrifies most men because they have been conditioned to blend in, to not rock the boat, to stay safely in the middle. But the middle is where dreams go to die. The middle is where you spend your entire life working for someone else who understood this truth before you did. Stop being afraid of attention. Start being afraid of irrelevance. The wealthy know that when you dress powerfully, opportunities multiply, doors open, conversations start, respect follows. But they also know that if everyone understood this, the competition would be fierce. So they keep you believing that caring about appearance is vanity while they collect the rewards of strategic presentation. Truth number 3, your wardrobe reflects your income ceiling. Just like the middle-class American shopper is getting squeezed out of home and car ownership, fashion middle-class brands are losing closet share and space on store shelves. This is not coincidence. This is design. The fashion industry has systematically eliminated the middle ground, forcing you into either cheap fast fashion or unattainable luxury. Nearly 3 out of 4 fashion leaders are prioritizing sales growth over cost improvements. However, the drivers of growth are shifting. In the last few years, volume growth has slowed. They want you buying more frequently, not buying better. They profit from your confusion, your constant need to replace, your acceptance of mediocrity. You do not need permission to be elegant, but you need courage to back it up. But successful men think differently. They understand that their wardrobe is an investment portfolio. A quality suit appreciates with wear when maintained properly. A cheap suit depreciates before you walk out the store. Your clothes are not an expense. They are an asset or a liability. Choose wisely. The man who spends $2,000 on a suit and wears it for 10 years spent $200 per year looking powerful. The man who spends $200 per year on cheap suits and replaces them annually spent the same amount looking forgettable. The mathematics of success are hidden in plain sight. I met another man at a networking event who told me he had been wearing the same $3,000 Navy suit for 8 years. It still looked impeccable. His competitors had cycled through dozens of cheap suits in the same time period, always looking slightly off, never quite right. He closed more deals. He commanded higher fees. His clients trusted him more because his appearance suggested permanence, quality, attention to detail. Truth number 4. Comfort has become your comfort zone prison. Comfort has become the new luxury in men's fashion, with relaxed fits replacing restrictive clothing. They sold you comfort as luxury, but comfort became your cage. While you prioritize how your clothes feel on your body, other men prioritize how their clothes make others feel about them. Stop dressing like an employee if you want to be treated like a boss. Getting dressed in the morning is often an overlooked aspect of self-care, but can help combat depressive tendencies and in turn become a mindful practice. The act of dressing well is not about vanity, it is about psychology. When you dress powerfully, you think powerfully. When you dress carelessly, you think carelessly. The sweatpants mentality has infected an entire generation of men. You think you are choosing comfort, but you are choosing invisibility. You think you are being practical, but you are being forgettable. You think you are saving money, but you are costing yourself opportunities. Have you ever noticed how differently you feel in a well-fitted suit versus sweatpants? Your posture changes. Your voice deepens. Your handshake becomes firmer. Your eye contact becomes steadier. This is not imagination, this is neuroscience. Successful men understand that slight discomfort in service of power is a trade worth making. The perfectly fitted collar that reminds you to stand straighter. The quality shoes that demand you walk with purpose. The tailored jacket that makes you feel capable of closing any deal. This is not discomfort. This is armor. Truth number 5. You have been taught that style is superficial. One of the most remarkable aspects of men's fashion psychology is how clothing can affect one's self-confidence. Donning a suit or an outfit that makes a man feel polished and put together can boost his confidence levels. But society taught you that caring about appearance is shallow, while successful men learned it is strategic. Robert Downey Jr. does not command $50 million per movie because of his acting alone. He commands it because he understood early that image amplifies talent. His personal style became part of his brand, part of his power, part of his worth. Psychologists have coined the term enclothed cognition to describe the phenomenon where what we wear can influence our cognitive processes. Wearing formal attire can activate the mindset associated with authority and competence. Your clothes literally change how your brain functions. This is not opinion, this is neuroscience. The best advantage of a well-dressed man: he is underestimated less and heard more. Yet you have been programmed to believe that substance matters more than style, as if the two are mutually exclusive. The most successful men in history understood that substance without style is invisible, while style without substance is temporary. You need both, but they only taught you to develop one. The man who dismisses style as superficial reveals his own superficial understanding of human psychology. First impressions happen in seconds. Trust is built or destroyed before you speak. Your clothes are talking whether you want them to or not. The question is, what are they saying? Truth number 6. Mass market fashion is designed to keep you average. Over the last couple of years, menswear has shifted toward a more muted color palette. Gray overcoats, navy sweaters, and black trousers have become the norm. They call it minimalism, but it is really uniformity. They want you looking like everyone else because individuals are threatening to systems. In 2025, we are seeing a return to neutral color tones, an embrace of classic vintage items, and a shift toward buying fewer, better clothes. The shift toward neutrals is not about sophistication. It is about making you invisible in a crowd of other invisible men. Style is not for show. It is for belonging. And those who belong know. When every man wears the same gray sweater and navy chinos, no man stands out. When no man stands out, the truly stylish man becomes a king among peasants. But they do not want you to be that king. They want you to be another face in their carefully crafted crowd. I observed a board meeting once where 12 men sat around a mahogany table. 11 wore nearly identical outfits: blue shirts, khaki pants, brown leather belts. The 12th wore a charcoal 3-piece suit with a burgundy tie. Guess who presented the winning proposal? Guess who got promoted 6 months later? Guess who now runs that division? Department stores are not trying to make you stylish. They are trying to make you compliant. They stock the same safe options because safe options keep you safe from success. Real style requires risk. Real power demands presence. Real elegance refuses to hide. Truth number 7. Your excuses are keeping you enslaved. I do not have money for expensive clothes, but you have money for coffee that costs $5 daily, streaming services that cost $15 monthly, and takeout food that costs $30 per meal and disappears in minutes. You choose temporary pleasures over permanent power. I do not have time to shop properly, but you have time for social media that consumes 3 hours daily, television that steals 4 hours nightly, and activities that add nothing to your value or your future. I do not know what looks good, but you have access to more style information than any generation in history. You choose ignorance because learning requires effort, and effort requires admitting that change is necessary. People will think I am trying too hard. People already think you are not trying hard enough. The judgment you fear from dressing well is nothing compared to the judgment you receive from dressing poorly. The difference is that one judgment opens doors while the other closes them. Have you ever walked into a high-end restaurant underdressed? Remember that feeling? That sense that you did not belong, that every eye was measuring you and finding you lacking? That discomfort you felt was not snobbery, it was reality. Standards exist, either you meet them or you do not. Openness to experience is associated with non-conformity, suggesting that people are able to enjoy and play with their clothes despite societal pressures to conform to strict standards. The same principle applies to men. Those open to style experiences break free from conformity limitations. Every excuse you make for not dressing better is an excuse for not being better. Every reason you give for accepting mediocrity is a reason you will remain mediocre. Every justification for staying invisible is a justification for staying powerless. The brutal truth is this: your style is not about impressing others. It is about respecting yourself enough to present the best version of who you are. When you dress carelessly, you are telling the world that you do not value yourself enough to make an effort. And if you do not value yourself, why should anyone else? The transformation begins now. But here is the beautiful truth hidden inside these cruel realities. Once you understand the game, you can start winning it. Once you see the matrix, you can begin to escape it. Once you grasp that style is power, you can start building your arsenal. The men who succeed are not necessarily the most talented or the most intelligent. They are the men who understood that presentation multiplies potential. They are the men who refuse to accept society programming about caring for appearance being shallow. Stop making excuses. Start making investments. Your transformation begins with a single decision: to stop making excuses and start making investments. Not in your closet, but in your future. Not in fashion, but in power. Not in trends, but in timelessness. I want to tell you about one final man I encountered. He was a mid-level manager at a tech company, overlooked and undervalued, despite his brilliant ideas and tireless work ethic. He made a decision that seemed superficial, but was actually surgical. He invested 3 months' salary in a complete wardrobe overhaul. Custom suits, handmade shoes, quality shirts, silk ties. Within 1 year, he was promoted twice. Within 2 years, he left to start his own company. Within 3 years, he was featured on the cover of Forbes. Same man, same intelligence, same work ethic, different presentation, different trajectory, different destiny. The change was not just in how others saw him. The change was in how he saw himself. When you dress like success, you start thinking like success. When you think like success, you start acting like success. When you act like success, success starts responding to you. Your choice determines your future. If you want to become the man who commands respect when he walks into a room, if you want to escape the middle-class trap that keeps most men invisible and irrelevant, if you want to understand how elegance becomes power and power becomes success, then your education must continue beyond this moment. Every day you wait is another day someone else is taking the opportunities that should be yours. Every day you choose comfort over power is another day you choose mediocrity over magnificence. Every day you let these excuses win is another day you lose, but not today. Today, you start understanding that fashion is not luxury, it is power, and power is not given. It is taken by those bold enough to reach for it. Consider supporting this mission by joining our exclusive members club starting at just $4.99 per month. Click that member button and stand alongside men who understand that investing in knowledge is the first step toward investing in power. What I learned changed everything about how I see style and success. The connection between appearance and opportunity cannot be ignored anymore. The mathematics of elegance are not theory, they are practice. The psychology of power is not philosophy, it is strategy. Style equals success equals power. If this awakened something in you, if this disturbed your comfortable assumptions, if this made you look at your reflection differently, then comment those 4 words. Style equals success equals power. Let me know you understand that this is not about clothes. This is about control. This is not about fashion. This is about freedom. If this made you uncomfortable, congratulations. You are waking up. Now dress like someone who finally understands. Because the man you could become is waiting for the man you are willing to be. The revolution begins when you stop accepting average and start demanding excellence from yourself. Your closet is your first battlefield. Your mirror is your first enemy. Your transformation is your first victory. The choice is yours. The time is now. The power has always been within your reach. You just needed someone to tell you the truth about how to grasp it.